dad's performance in office after all this economic crisis and IMF? How will you rate your dad's performance?
Stellar. I think a lot of people do not understand the backroom pressures and responsibilities that are needed, and what the tolls that it takes. But this is a leader that has taken it on effortlessly and has steered the ship that we all feel safe within these times of economic unrest. So for me, and I'm sure a lot of people would say that I'm biased, but a lot of people that do know me understand my objectivity, and I feel that he is leading us on a safe and steady course.
So you disagree with the school of thought that your dad is not really performing well in office?
Yes.
He has mismanaged the economy?
Yes, I disagree.
i.e. in the Akufo-Addo Mahama Bawumia era. That's unforgivable. That's unforgivable. I hope you will allow me to withdraw that statement. In the run-up to the 2008, 2012, and 2016 presidential elections, I was the target of numerous false and malicious stories aimed at attacking my credibility and integrity. In 2008, baseless allegations of drug trafficking were spread, along with numerous rumors about my health intended to cast doubt on my ability to serve as president. President Kufuor was also accused in 2008 of having sold all of Ghana's gold reserves. Again, the 2012 election saw false reports of my alleged arrest in London for drug possession and fabricated quotes designed to stir ethnic tensions. In 2016, it was alleged by sympathizers of the opposition that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 elections, they are at it again. A fabricated document entitled Ejapadia is being peddled around by operatives of the opposition as evidence of a grand scheme by my party to annex the assets of the state. These experiences underscore the importance of discerning truth from falsehood and the need for all of us to remain vigilant against the dangers of misinformation and disinformation. In the run-up to the 2008, 2012, and 2016 presidential elections, I was the target of numerous false and malicious stories aimed at attacking my credibility and integrity. In 2008, baseless allegations of drug trafficking were spread, along with numerous rumors about my health intended to cast doubt on my ability to serve as president. President Kufuor was also accused in 2008 of having sold all of Ghana's gold reserves. Again, the 2012 election saw false reports of my alleged arrest in London for drug possession and fabricated quotes designed to stir ethnic tensions. In 2016, it was alleged by sympathizers of the opposition that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 elections, they are at it again. A fabricated document entitled a Japadia is being peddled around by operatives of the opposition as evidence of a grand scheme by my party to annex the state, the assets of the state. These experiences underscore the importance of discerning truth from falsehood and the need for all of us to remain vigilant against the dangers of misinformation and disinformation. In the run-up to the 2008, 2012, and 2016 presidential elections, I was the target of numerous false and malicious stories aimed at attacking my credibility and integrity. In 2008, baseless allegations of drug trafficking were spread, along with numerous rumors about my health intended to cast doubt on my ability to serve as president. President Kufuor was also accused in 2008 of having sold all of Ghana's gold reserves. Again, the 2012 election saw false reports of my alleged arrest in London for drug possession and fabricated quotes designed to stir ethnic tensions. In 2016, it was alleged by sympathizers of the opposition that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 elections, they are at it again. In the run-up to the 2008, to
defend, and we'll have some significant achievements which have addressed the concerns of the Ghanaian people. I'm very confident that we're going to the election in 2023.
But most there are concerns that the campaign has led to a lot of vitriol and a lot of hostility. What's your concerns about such claims?
I believe at the end of the day, a competitive process, the party will coalesce around the new leader who will then be able to lead us in a unified manner to the election.
Mr. President, please, are you telling the delegates to vote for some aspirants? These are some of the claims. Can you reiterate that point? The last time you cleared that, you are not supporting any aspirants.
If I've cleared it, why are you bringing it up again? You're not convinced.
Some say they are not convinced by the message. They want you to walk the talk.
But at the same time, there's some calling for me to endorse their candidates. There's some who are calling for me to endorse their candidates. I haven't endorsed anybody. The election is not mine. If I had, I would decide it. I don't decide it. It's the delegates in our party that decide it.
Mr. President, Ghanaians say they are not happy with the way conditions are. They are tired. They are suffering.
It's difficult. I'm the first to admit it. I've said it several times. I'm the first to admit it. But at the end of the day, I believe that when the moment comes, the Ghanaians will reflect on who best can get us out of these difficulties and take us to the next year. That is the new patriotic party.
$1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was done, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them. So they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our work to be able to develop. We have told the world that under our leadership, we're going to turn our back.
I don't see one year deep down the young faso. What was it I was said to maybe Muswa, Unya faso, because Sikano and Munyetu. Namonia Juma can say a baba ye. The Baba said, near the Celia and Mua too. Now one is deep down, Unya faso. What did I say to Muswa, Unya faso? Kaobi tina me kofa ba womia so be ka me ho ye hihye ye sika sam no eyie na sika no e munye dubio let me the adwuma ne ahoto so abagana.
Ghana today is in crisis. Agriculture, once upon a time the bedrock of our development, is a pale shadow of its former self. Manufacturing is at a very low ebb. Corruption is at its height. Our economy is in tatters. Inflation is high. Taxes are high. Businesses, both big and small, are struggling. And millions of young men and women are out of work. Incompetence is the hallmark of the Mahama government. Government appointments are not based on merit, but on considerations which are not only puzzling, but also bizarre. Our healthcare system is in shambles with the collapse of the National Health Insurance Scheme. The cost of education continues to be a big challenge for too many families. Young people who have toiled to obtain qualifications are having great difficulty in finding jobs. And there are hundreds of thousands of Ghanaian children who are not getting the kind of education that they need to compete in the 21st century. Ghana is in trouble. There is a need for change in the way in which this country is governed. A change that will make way for a competent, honest, hard-working, well-qualified team to take over the affairs of this country and steer it in the direction of prosperity for all. Instead of the current state of affairs, which dwells on prosperity for the friends and family of the people in power. What excites me is that in spite of all the difficulties, the Ghanaian people have hope. They have hope for a brighter future. They have hope because they believe change is coming.
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
My visit here today is a very simple one. It is to come and sympathize and commiserate with you about the tragedy that has occurred. When it happened, I was in America on official business. When the chief of staff called me in America about what had happened, and we discussed what had to be done. So that's when we agreed to establish an interministerial committee to coordinate government response to this tragedy. And the coordination is about immediate, about tomorrow, and about tomorrow. The most important thing was, first of all, to ensure the life of people. And that is why 9 centers were established here in Mepe for all the displaced people. And the people, all the people in these 9 centers have been provided relief items by NADNO. And it's NADNO's intention to continue the exercise of providing relief items. So apart from what NADNO is doing, we have also to think about the future. I'm aware that you are farming people. The people who are farming on the banks of the rivers, river banks that have overflown and destroyed many of the farms. So one of the things that the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the President is going to be working with the District Assembly is to decide exactly the nature of the support we have to give to you when the water has gone away to enable you to do the farming. This is why I'm saying that the committee is working in several phases. One, immediate relief, and then tomorrow. But I want you to know that the government is going to do everything in its powers to assist, to make sure that things are all right. I think everybody here, and I hope you take the message all across, North Tongu, South Tongu, Central Tongu, that when these things happen and government acts, politics does not come into the matter at all. When I took the oath of office as president, I took the oath of office as president of every single individual in Ghana, of all peoples in Ghana, all districts. And whether they voted for me or not, once I have taken the oath, I am the president of all the people. So, Toby, you and your elders, I want the people here, you, beginning with you and the elders, to understand that when something like this happens and government acts, government is acting for Ghanaians, all Ghanaians. I came here because Ghanaians are having difficulties and are suffering. And it is my responsibility to try and help. Because if it's a question of counting who votes for me and who doesn't vote for me, I shouldn't be here, because you don't vote for me. But that is not my concern. And in any event, one day you will vote for me and my party. My visit here today is
Thank you very much, Mrs. Goba. So if you pay regard to the program which the clerks have prepared, we will now take opening remarks from the chair and the ranking member. Mine will be very brief. I would like to welcome all of you to report to the House on the fulfillment of the assurances, promises, and undertakings by persons referred to in paragraph A. So all of what we do here, consistent with the work of committees, we must report to plenary because these assurances largely are made to the entire House. So it is only fair that when we have followed up on those assurances, we present a report to the House. And we intend to be very timely about this reporting function under the standing orders. So these will be my introductory remarks. It is our first public hearing since the committee was reconstituted. We want to thank all of you for the continuous interest. I'm happy that under the reconstitution, in the wisdom of the selection committee chaired by the Speaker, veteran members of this committee were maintained. There are some members who have served on this committee for 3 terms, for 2 terms.
To see you all in attendance. So you will guide all of us with your experience that you have gathered serving on this committee for many years. So we're looking forward to a very healthy deliberation in the interest of democracy. The Ghanaian people expect that our democracy
and will improve their welfare and their lots. So these assurances, when they come, we must follow up and make sure that they are indeed actualized. So that is our mandate, and I have no doubt that the Honorable Minister will discharge his duties.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are 2 types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 2nd day of August 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Graphic Greater Housing Fair. Scrap 5% VAT on real estate industry. Greater urges government. 2024 elections. Ashanti region key battleground. Gold exports to yield $10 billion by year end. EC opens nominations for 2024 polls. The Ghanaian Times. A Japadia book. An invention to mar my image. President breaks silence. Okay. Professor Kwame Kwansa Edu chairs New Times Corporation Board. SGAGL denies claims of inflated cost in ambulance deal. 95 million cedis payment to West Blues arrear settlement, not judgment debt. Daily Guide. Ambulance dealers rubbish Ablakwa claims. Akufo-Addo commissions GMPC Energy House. Entrepreneurship should be compulsory in schools. Baumia to open 2024 World Share Expo. Nana shoots down Ejapadia propaganda. Election 2024, EC opens nominations September 9. The new weekend crusading guide, Service Ghana Auto Group enraged over inflated cost claim, threatens to sue. Baumia to light the flame in Mega Ophir Walk. NPP success in education too glaring to ignore, Manifesto Committee Chair. District housing program commences soon upon Nkrumah hints. Gold exports to hit $10 billion by end of 2024, main boss. Towards creating more job opportunities, introduce entrepreneurship in SHS, Dr. Stephen Amu advocates. We're committed to supporting DRIP in the long haul. DACF boss assures. Kwewu Abetifi DC honored. Election 2024, EC opens nominations August 2. 100,000 cedis filing fee for presidential aspirants. The Daily Statesman, government to start district housing program. Michael Kwe supports Kwabenya SHS. Cabinet reviews national action plan to tackle disinformation. Natoshi urges investment in MMDAs for sustainable development. SGAGL, cost of ambulance deal not inflated. Jinapo, let's harness opportunities in mining sector. The Insight, forgive us our sins. NPP's Obribwa begs over economic hardship, corruption, and others. I'll be tough on corruption to save Ghana's finances, Alan Martin. Historic setback against zero hunger target, as UN report reveals 733 million people face chronic hunger in 2023. Socialist Movement Ghana condemns assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh. Amen Scientific Herbal Center advocates for scientific herbal medicine. The Herald, 307 ambulances and spare parts deals get more smelly. Ex-convict found in transactions. Minister faces inflated prices claim in multi-million-dollar procurement. Imani bosses indict Oforiatta Chiremantin over West Blues 95 million cedis judgment debt. YEA partners stop Africa BPO operators for job creation. AG's attitude against Atufosin suggests personal vendetta, law lecturer. Akufo-Addo discredits a Japadia family manual as fabrication by political opponents. The Ghanaian publisher, Natoshi optimistic DRIP will stimulate growth. SGAGL denies misconduct in ambulance deal. Kojo Nkrumah unveils ambitious plan to address Ghana's housing deficit. Let's position Ghana to benefit from mining sector, Abu Jinapo. Baumia Mahama to file nominations in September. Daily Post, Akufo-Addo should reflect on a Japadia document instead of blaming opponents, Omani Buama. Mahama to begin 2024 campaign tour in Upper East region tomorrow. Cost of financial sector cleanup to rise to 34 billion cedis. Confusion rocks UCC as council members resist supposed termination of VC's appointment. The New Finder, reduce interest rates in addition to other measures to tackle non-performing loans. Banker. SGAGL refutes allegations of ambulance service contract, threatens to sue. Presidential filing fee hits 100,000 cedis, 10,000 cedis for parliamentary, EC. Government to launch district-level housing projects upon Nkrumah. Government to lease Commander Sugar Factory to new investor for 20 years, KT Hammond. The Inquisitor, Sayo, Tef War in Police. Minority files RTI request to demand cost of DRIP project. Ghana Link executives shine at National Governance and Business Leadership Awards. DRIP agenda is unprecedented, local government minister. Ghana CEO awards Ernest Nick Danso with double recognition. Professor Oko Amate is CEO of the decade. The Informer, Mahama reports Akufo-Addo to chiefs over handing over remarks. Minister warns MMDCs against misuse of DRIP equipment. NPP parliamentary aspirant caged over 300,000 cedis fraud allegation. Unilateral adjournment of parliament. Majority disagrees with speaker, recalls house for urgent business. Danger, Galamsey, causes extinction, contamination of herbal plants. Towards balanced and productive agric sector, government urged to redirect focus and increase budget. The good old Catholic standard, Catholic bishops launch 5-year peace initiative. Don't label elderly as witches. SECAM calls for renewal of evangelization. Stand for the truth, Bishop Atakru. Editorial, a second look at our education system, a must. And that's about it for the front pages. We're back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in.
Red, I received now!
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming! Oh.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually me, man. No more man, still.
One give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. But rest of us, give us here and don't come down.
What's a good answer? But for me to give us the and some down.
Give us about me, sir.
The patron and some down.
Customer. Give us that down. Back.
Onuya kayo, oba wa fa furo nom. De o ma no banu fu nom. Akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono nso nom.
Bet. Blast. Boom. Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play Fly X with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
Prepare bantama.
Machasi.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me jidi say we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa. Ine kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son of Wibia. Nanso, Yari, Sapa, a
spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and Passwater tickets as a group individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
By the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
The law is pertinent to every aspect of our lives, and so lawyers must not be the backup plan for the rainy day only.
Nothing received from a client should be put in a lawyer's personal account until such time that the money has actually been earned.
It is very dangerous to perpetuate the theory that it is narcotics that leads to crime increase.
The relevance of the law cuts across our business, social, and family transactions. Doubt this?
You can't borrow from somebody who's your client. That would lead to a conflict situation. And that's something that as a lawyer you must jealously guard when you are representing a client. You have to register your Mohammedan marriage within 7 days?
Within a week of the celebration of the marriage.
So if you don't register it, it's not a valid marriage. Journey with our Law Express panel every week as we confirm the place of the law in our everyday transactions.
Under etiquette rules, a lawyer can terminate for non-payment of fees. So basically, if you don't pay your fees, a lawyer has a right to terminate your engagement.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And I'll be letting you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But if you're thinking of getting a toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 024-6864-798. KL 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. All right, so with me on the show this morning, he's back. Vice Chair, Bawumia 2024, Nana Akomia. Honorable, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Where have you been?
Oh, I'm campaigning.
Also with me on the show this morning is the chairman of the Government Assurances Committee in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana and the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Northern Constituency, the son of man, Sami Okujato Ablakwa.
Was that the footage that you were showing?
Yes. His first thing, they brought the Lands Minister. First one. They said, produce all the documents on the
land
acquisition.
Land alienation.
Yes.
So now you are in a position to deal with him directly. So there was a showdown?
We only did
mini showdown.
We only did.
So what happened? What happened? Tell us about that. What was it about?
Yeah. So as the Assurances Committee requires under Order 225 of our standing orders, we pursue assurances that have been delivered to Parliament.
Okay.
And now our mandate has been broadened. Okay. So that's why it's no longer government assurances, but it's just Assurances Committee.
Oh, it's assurances.
Assurances.
Okay.
Because now we have the power to go beyond ministers.
Okay.
So we can invite all heads of government agencies.
But are they not assurances made to or in Parliament?
Yes, to Parliament. So to either plenary or to a committee of the House. And in the particular instance of the Lands Minister, more than 2.5 years ago, we had demanded a full list of all public lands that have been disposed of. We wanted to know who they were sold to, the cost, and then what is left of our public lands.
Over which period?
The question was from 2017 to date. As at the time he appeared before us. That was in February 2022. However, he generously offered to provide the list from 1993. He says he wants to give us a full picture of the Fourth Republic, which we all welcomed. And the Speaker ruled that he should submit that. At the time, he claimed that because it was a few months into the reconfiguration of the regions, 6 regions had been added. They were now creating the various regional lands commissions at those new regions. He needed time. It's been more than 2 years, and that list has not been provided. And considering the current national discussion about state capture, the agitations all over, and we've seen the demonstrations by the Ga chiefs, the La chiefs, youth groups. You saw the recent one by the coalition of organized labor and the minority caucus on state capture. We thought that it was absolutely crucial that that list is provided. Unfortunately, the lands minister once again disappointed and said that because of matters to do with poor record keeping and the manual system that they use, they have not been able to complete the task. But we have given him a last window up to the end of the tenure of this parliament to provide the list. Because as we all know, under the Ghanaian constitution, all public lands are vested in the president on our behalf. He holds them in trust on our behalf. And it is also important to emphasize that the Lands Commission is supposed to manage these public lands on our behalf, advise the president, the lands minister, on the management of these lands and how to make sure that they are secured in the national interest and for the public good. We have an instance now where the Lands Commission appears complicit in a lot of the public lands that are being sold and that are being lost. Indeed, I read the intercepted Bulgarian embassy demolition report to the minister, where a lands commissioner told Justice Oforiatta, the sole inquirer, that public lands are being registered as private lands and that they were also worried at the rate at which we are losing public lands. You know, and I told the minister that, look, these are frightening developments and we cannot continue like this where people have a mandate and if under the constitution the president must be protecting all of these lands on our behalf, and the president doesn't know, because from what is going on, the president doesn't even know, doesn't have an accurate picture, accurate records, unless, as the committee raised at the hearings, unless it is deliberate not to be transparent, not to provide this information, you know, which also is problematic and very worrying. So it is absolutely crucial that we get this list. It is only through transparency when public officials, all those are the Lands Commission, you know, and I have been totally outraged at some of the cases going on. You have, for example, the prisons land. The Ghana Prison Service is in court, now supported by the Interior Minister when he came to Parliament, trying to protect the Boston Institute lands. Then you have the Lands Commission, appointees of this same president, go to court and provide evidence against the Ghana Prison Service in writing that so far as they are concerned, the land has been sold to Professor Apiedu, the senior advisor to Dr. Baunia. Lands Commission. Then there's the other case of the Parks and Gardens land in Wa, where local government minister comes to Parliament, tells us that per their records, it is still Parks and Gardens land managed by the Parks and Gardens Department, an agency under their ministry. And yet, Lands Commission writes that they have done rezoning. Meanwhile, under our laws, particularly the LUSPA law, the Lands Commission has no business doing rezoning. And they say they have offered the land to a private developer to construct a fuel filling station. Now, the local government minister has made a pledge to Parliament based on our insistence that he's going to demolish the fuel filling station. Based on what the Lands Commission has done, the private developer feels emboldened. He goes to court, injuncting the local government minister from carrying out a parliamentary directive of clearing that construction out of the way and preserving our Parks and Gardens lands. And there are many instances, you know, all over the place where there's just chaos, you know, where public lands are just being sold for cheap, you know. And I've told the minister, we have intercepted our own list. We have an idea. If they continue to delay, we'll be compelled to publish what we have intercepted.
So what was the minister's response, and how did the meeting end?
So the minister was unable to provide the list. He says that they are still compiling because of the manual system and all of that they operate. This is not a digital lands commission, lands tenure system, and so they will need more time. I mean, and in the minister's response to Parliament 2.5 years ago, he told us that even before our question, the president had asked him to provide a full list of public lands about a year prior, which has not been done. They can't do it. So how do you convince me that this is not a deliberate attempt by those who are managing our lands not to be transparent, not to provide the full list?
So what was the conclusion?
So the conclusion is that he must come back with a full list by close of this tenure.
Close of this tenure?
Yes.
Being January 5th,
yes.
2025?
Yes, because he said it's an enormous undertaking and they are really struggling to put all of it together.
So a friend who watched the proceedings had two suggestions.
Okay.
That one, why won't you face it? And let's say start first of all, give us Greater Accra. We'll start off with maybe Greater Accra, then we'll look at Ashanti, then we'll probably look at Western. Another view that he also held was that why don't we focus on when the Accra Redevelopment policy started, 1999 or so, and look at, because many people believe that under the guise of that policy, a lot of things have happened. So why don't you also, for example, zero in on the Accra Redevelopment policy, which then would then focus on, let's say, Accra, and it will be easier to get that information, whilst the way to compile their national data or records for you. I don't know what you make of this.
This came up strongly at the committee. Mind you, the original question was a more narrower scope.
Yes.
But then the minister decided...
That's more regime specific.
Yes, the minister decided to broaden it. And we said no problem. Because, as I said at the committee proceedings, if we insist that it should be narrowed to just 2017, it will create the impression that one political tradition doesn't want to be accountable.
In fact, it's partisan.
Yes, we want to hide our record, which will not be good. This matter must be pursued with a national approach. You know, it should not be a partisan, you know, any attempt to engage in.
2017.
It was the Honorable Kwame Abuja in 2021. So the resolution of the committee is that let's have everything from 1993. However, we added a caveat that you can bring them in bits. So whatever you find now, let's have it. But you see, this whole development must be very alarming to all of us. It must be very alarming. If you look at Article 257 of the Constitution, it says that all public lands in Ghana shall be vested in the President on behalf of and in trust for the people of Ghana. Then Article 2581 provides that there shall be established a lands commission which shall, in coordination with the relevant public agencies and governmental bodies, perform the following functions. On behalf of the government, manage public lands and any other lands vested in the President by this Constitution or by any other law or any lands vested in the Commission. So this is your constitutional mandate. What are you managing? How are you being good trustees on our behalf if you don't have the records? If you can't tell us the situation with our public lands, what is left? How many have been sold or leased or disposed of? You can't tell us. For more than 3 years now, if you add when the President requested that you put this compilation together. And yet, on a daily basis, we see the public lands being sold. we intercept letters of civil servants being told to leave their bungalows, that their bungalows have been sold to private developers. Judges have given us copies of eviction letters, leave. The latest one is the Roman Ridge flats. They have been told to leave, that private developers are taking over in the name of Accra Redevelopment policy. So how come that when it comes to selling, when it is time to dispose of these public lands, you know where they are, you can find them easily. But when we ask for the records, it is such a Herculean task. It becomes so impossible, to get the records. It's not acceptable. And as we have indicated, the Assurances Committee will take and continue to take a very serious view of this matter, and will pursue the Minister for Lands, because it is his mandate under Article 2582. Because if you look at Article 2582, it says the Minister responsible for lands and natural resources may, with the approval of the President, give general directions in writing to the Lands Commission on matters of policy in respect of the functions of the Commission, and the Commission shall comply with the directions. So if you have such, a totally broken down system where we can't be told what public lands we have, Minister gives a directive to Lands Commission, they are not complying, the Constitution is being violated, those who are supposed to be managing these lands on our behalf, the Lands Commission, can't tell us what the situation is. It's really pathetic, and we cannot accept this situation. So that's really what inspired.
Well, I am always in favor of transparency, because sunlight is what constrains the behavior of public officials. When you shine light on the activities, or when public officials know that light will be shone on their activities, it constrains their behavior. So any effort to shine light on an issue of public interest, I am all in favor. And this is a matter of public interest. The alienation or sale of public lands to individuals. So I'm keen to see the list and of the acquisitions and how they were done, so we can then decide as a nation how we'll proceed going forward. But the impression, well, that's the impression I got from Samuel Kujato, that the Minister, Samuel Jinakbo, was deliberately unwilling to provide the list. I would like to commend the Minister for responding quickly to the call of the... Samuel Kujato has been chairman for maybe 1 week or so. And the Minister, and I'm sure this is the first Minister you have called, and he has responded very quickly. I know the Public Accounts and Assurances Committee, they will summon ministers, and ministers will give them excuses, So we should commend the Minister for responding quickly to the summons of the committee. And if he says that there are difficulties in getting the records, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and rather support him to get the records, because the records should be there. And so he just has to put more officials on it to get them. I was a little startled when you said this thing has been going on for 2 years, because 2 years is quite a long time. And I will urge the Minister to put more officials on it to get the records. And I like the suggestion that you made, Randy, that if we even start from 1999, where the
the redevelopment scheme became official policy. From that time, there'll be records. The record from 1999, when there was official policy, the Accra redevelopment scheme, because there'll be guidelines, and the records will be there. So maybe if we start from there, we should be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We only have, you said you give him to the end of this parliament.
Yes.
But you are going to go on recess. Now you're on recess,
You're on
actually.
recess, yes.
And then when you get back, you see elections. And so there's not enough time. So maybe if we can focus on the Accra redevelopment, the period from 1999, where the record should be there. But you see, this whole business...
Does that then require another question?
No, they said they've given him...
No, we can invite him.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they said they've given him. But you see, Randy, this whole business about the alienation of public lands, what are we seeking to find? Is it the principle of letting go of public land? Is it the principle? We have to be clear that if the principle is that public lands should not be leased or sold, let's be clear that this is what we want to achieve. Or is it the principle that public lands should not be sold or alienated to public officials? Let's be clear about it too. You see, because we've had an official policy, the redevelopment, and I think it applies to Kumasi as well. The redevelopment plan, which came into being in 1999, thereabouts, where the policy was that you looked at many of these areas, the so-called prime areas, and you find 1 acre, and then there's a 3-bedroom so-called bungalow sitting in the middle of the 1 acre.
And a boys' quarters.
With a boys' quarters, 40 meters, so the servants can be. And these were bungalows that were built in the colonial period. And I understand those days when the white people came and they were looking for land from Osu and so on. They were told to go there and they were going there. The people found it so funny. They were going into the forest. You know. But today, those areas that used to be forest and given out to them, the 2 acres, 1 acre, now they are the prime areas. The city has now, they've become the central areas of the city. So the thinking was that, why are you going to have 1 acre in cantonments, in Rage, Laboni, and so on, and there's a 3-bedroom sitting on it, dilapidated 3 bedrooms, a dilapidated boys' quarters. It's not the best use of the land 100 years after the land was first given out. So we need to re-engineer.
And most importantly, the public service keeps growing.
The public service
and the need for accommodation keeps rising. Yes.
So the thinking was that this 1 acre with maybe some public servants and can be redeveloped and can accommodate 40 families. And these are in the middle of the city, you know. So that was the thinking. And nobody has any problem with that thinking. You can't, but you know, the one thing that bothers me is that we should be careful that we don't let all of it go. There has to be some that has to be preserved for.
But Nana, help me with this. I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that the redevelopment plan really was that when this, like 1 acre with a 3-room bungalow and all that are demolished, what's going to happen is that because the state perhaps didn't have the resources to commit to building these things, maybe the private developer comes in and then builds, let's say, 6 townhouses or 4 townhouses on the 1 acre, takes 3 and gives 1 townhouse to the state, or builds 6, gives 2 townhouses to the state, and then also uses the other 4 to deal with the investments and all that, return on investment and all that. I thought that was the plan. Or maybe build a block of apartments so that you can have a lot more families of public servants go in there and then utilize the other part for private purposes in order to get back their investments and of course some return on investments. I thought that was the idea.
Well, it's a combination.
Okay.
If I remember. Okay. It's a combination of that. Okay. Yeah. But like I'm saying, we should, because there's still a lot of these lands with the bungalows. We shouldn't.
They keep finishing. These days, when in this area, I can't count more than 3.
We need to have some of them. We can, in some place, they call them listed. Listed means they've been preserved for historical purposes. You know, so another 50 years, our grandchildren will come and see how that architecture was. So that is something that a caveat that we must look at. But like I'm saying, it's a combination. The redevelopment was also in pursuit of a public policy. When you go to, and some they call it Cantonment City. I don't know why they call it Cantonment City.
Is it the one by the police?
Yes.
Yes.
The one by the Cantonment Police.
Yes.
That is a combination.
Yes.
So the private developer is given part of the land, and they've put up all of these modern offices and residential facilities. And they've also put up modern facilities for the Cantonment Police.
Yes.
So you see all of these modern facilities for the police there. And as part of the public policy, they also get some of the land, and they're putting up all of these buildings. So that's an example of where there's a combination. But even when the government gets the money, the government can also use the money to put up facilities for the public service in other places. So it's all. Now, this policy has been in place. And since it has been in place, we have seen many of these lands in some of these areas being given out to private developers. And we've seen the high-rise condominiums, townhouses, and that's because some of them townhouses, condominiums. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Which is a good use of prime land instead of just leaving them empty and so on. So the policy has been in place. Many of the land has been given out to private developers for public purposes. If you look at Airport City, it's the same principle, where the land has been given out to private developers according to a certain spatial plan, put up buildings of a certain type, high rises, to make use of that land. And it's been going on, and I understand there's a second phase and so on. And many of them are private individuals who have to build according to the criteria. So that is the principle. Is that principle wrong? If that principle is wrong, let's see how we can be clear about that. Number 2, is it that the land, the public land, should not be given to public officials? If that is also the case, let's be clear in our minds, because there have been some acquisitions by public officials.
I think Sami is championing a bill which seeks to bar public officials from acquiring states.
Sami, is your bill to stop to prohibit the sale of public land, or is it to prohibit the sale to politically exposed persons? You know, so because you have, I remember some of the specific instances that you gave, the Parks and Gardens headquarters, for example, that the minister said that it was leased out in 2016. I'm happy that it's become an issue, and because that area, the ecology of that area, I will be sad if all that ecology is brought down and I see high-rise buildings. So I'm happy that it's been looked at again. But it was sold out or leased out in 2015. Some of the other places that you mentioned, the Judicial Service, I don't know the place, but I understand it's at 5th Circle. It was also opened up by the minister, given in 2015. But if you did the record, I am sure you would see a lot of politically exposed persons. across board. CPP, NPP, NDC, also acquiring some of this. And there was also, as part of the redevelopment, there was something they called infilling.
Yes.
Infilling was where the 1 acre, they carve it into 4. So these are one plot that you can put up a condominium, and those ones were given out to individuals, some of whom may be politicians, some of whom may not be politicians. But let's get the list from 1999, because that's
so you support the position that we should at least start off from the Accra Redevelopment.
Yes.
1999.
Yes, because that's an official policy.
Yes.
So
let's Kumasi Redevelopment.
Let's start from 1999. See the acquisitions. See if the public purposes of the acquisitions have been met. And then we can take it up from there. What is the preponderance of public officials? Did they get it through infilling? Did they get it at the correct values? What was the process? Was the process transparent and accountable? Were the values fair? The monies have been paid and receipted and so on. And then the ones that went to private individuals who are putting up these condominiums and townhouses, what was the process? Was fair price paid? Was the process fair, transparent, and all of that? So let's get a list.
Now, is it not pretty obvious when we drive or walk around these areas that what we actually see is a transfer from public ownership to private commercial interest? What we see. Yeah, so we knew these areas before. Now we go through those areas. What do we see?
Yeah.
It's a complete...
No, but what we see, no, but I'm saying for the purposes of public policy, you have 1 acre sitting at a ridge with 40 trees and a bungalow in the middle. The public policy is that that land cannot remain like that.
Yes.
That prime 1 acre land cannot have a 3-bedroom bungalow.
Yes.
So let's give it out to a developer who will put up a facility for, say, 40 families.
What I wanted to find out was that's why I asked my earlier question, was the intent of the policy to oust the occupation in those areas by public officials? Was that the policy? Because I thought that the policy was that there is an underutilization of the land.
Ideally.
So utilizing the land.
Listen, ideally, the policy should also have an aim to increase public facilities. It should be there.
Yes.
And I know it's a combination. And I gave you the example of Cantonment City, and I'm sure there are many others. But, like I'm saying, a review would allow us to see if the purposes of public policy have been achieved. Yes. But the principle is that the land use has to change. It has to change because these are prime lands, and having a 3 bungalow sitting there is not a proper use of that land. So change them and have it change into a high occupancy area, high net, because the value of the land and the building on it total mismatch and so on. And then also the people who are politically exposed, who are they? Across regimes, across parties. What process did they use to acquire them? Were the prices fair and so on? So
as for that one, we have the answer.
Which one?
About fair pricing. We have the answer.
What is the answer?
The answer is a big fat no.
Well, but let's get the data. Let's get the data, and then if it's a bit fat no, we will then know what to do.
Right. Okay. All right.
Doc, so the questions that Nana Komia,
if you can do it in a few minutes for us.
Yeah, has posed important questions. And we all have to resolve those matters.
Mm.
First of all, what are the concerns, particularly with the Accra Redevelopment policy? Is it the policy which is problematic? The rationale, the policy imperatives, the implementation? Should that policy continue to exist? Even before the Accra Redevelopment policy, and with other interventions outside the Accra Redevelopment policy, what is the assessment of that? Now, if we stay within the Accra Redevelopment policy, we know that it was a noble objective, that the situation where a small bungalow is on an acre, 2 acres, so population is increasing. After 30 or 40 years since these bungalows were constructed, you now have a bigger public service. You need to make good use of the land, particularly in the capital, where development has so much accelerated that it is difficult to find green fields to build more bungalows for public officials. Indeed, there are even some who have said that that policy of housing public officials in state buildings, that policy itself should be reviewed. We should have a second look at it. But to the extent that we still have that policy, let's examine its implementation. So the policy was a noble one. And my reading of that policy, my understanding of it, was not that it will lead to a situation where many public servants, including judges, will be dislodged, will be disadvantaged, and we now have a situation where you are either asked to go and rent as a public servant, or you are moved so far away from where your workplace is. Because it is for good reason that particular areas were demarcated as the places to house these public servants. The forebears of this country decided that these public servants should be close to the ministries. If you are a civil servant, if you work in the ministries, if you are a judge, you should be close to the courts where you work. But now you have a situation where people are being dislodged totally. And what we see is that in the name of private development, these lands are being transferred to these private developers, and the public good is not being served. There have even been some recent judgments, like the judgment in my case, the Kujatua Blackwell Manibuama versus Jacob Echebilamte case, where even the public good has been so stretched and so expanded that it is giving credence to what we all see, where these public lands are just now being used for private interests, for the advancement of private profit. That is the challenge that we all have to address. And I have here an obiter in my case where Justice Adenyira reflected on the implementation of this policy. And this is what the eminent jury said. Quote, "I wish to state by way of obiter that the Accra Redevelopment Scheme of Residential Properties Policy, as implemented by both the Rawlings and Kufuor administration, has not been wholly satisfactory, and has raised a lot of negative comments and issues of morality from the populace. The implementation of this scheme has dislodged a lot of government and public officials from their homes to give way to luxury apartments which only a few Ghanaians can afford to rent or buy. I will stress that since these public lands were initially used to provide housing for government and other public officials, space should be made available to decently house these officials, most of whom hold sensitive positions and thus need adequate privacy and security, unquote. So here we are. Even our eminent jurists have had cause to raise major concerns about the implementation of the Accra Redevelopment policy. And I do not know why, for the life of me, this policy has not been reviewed. I even take the view that, look, because of the levels of bastardization of the policy, it should even be cancelled. It has not served its intended purpose. We all know it. We see it on a daily basis. It has not. Then let me also come to the matter of the private members bill that I am pursuing with a number of colleagues on both sides. And I must really salute colleagues who have joined this effort. The MPP team is led by that outstanding and patriotic Member of Parliament, the Honorable Kweku Agyeman-Kwapting. I do admire him very, very much, and I wish the MPP would listen to him more. And I'm happy to collaborate with him on this national assignment. You have the...
It's not Agyeman.
He is.
He is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's Honorable.
That's his
full name. His middle name.
Okay.
Yeah. The Honorable Kweku Agyeman-Kwapting.
Okay.
Then we have the Honorable Dr. Dixon Adumaku Kisi. We have the Honorable Eves Hansen Norte. Then the Honorable Paul Aprekuchum Berima. On the NDC side, we have the Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu, the Honorable Dr. Agnes Namumu Late, and the Honorable Kwame Jujoli Gakpe, joining me to,
which constituency?
To sponsor, that's Keta.
Okay.
Keta, my mother's constituency. And the purpose of this bill, what we are calling the public...
You speak the language now?
Fluently. I've always
fluently since you started consulting for.
I've always had my way around.
Since you started consulting for Ella Blue,
he has learned the language. So at least I've had some positive.
So the Public Assets Protection Bill 2024.
Do you support Real Madrid?
This bill seeks to prohibit all politicians and politically exposed persons from purchasing state assets.
State assets, not just land.
And it goes beyond land.
Okay.
Yes, state assets generally. So whether they are cars, whether they are forests, whether they are hotels, state assets generally. Because we've seen all kinds of bizarre situations in recent times where people die and you see in their will even, Ramsey sites and forests have all been willed to relatives forever. So we are saying that all politically exposed persons, and we've defined politically exposed persons.
Who are they?
We are saying that politically exposed persons include your immediate family members, your spouses, your children, parents, and siblings. Because we have seen the corruption literature across the world shows that sometimes family members. That's why even now in asset declaration, anti-corruption crusaders across the world are saying that it shouldn't only be the public official, but his spouse, at least his nuclear family, should all declare their assets. That is the best practice now, if you go everywhere in the world, where politically exposed persons are being called to greater accountability and transparency. So we have adopted that international best practice in this private members bill. We have also defined public officials to include not only MPs and ministers. We are saying that all elected officials. We are saying that all government officials, ministers, deputy ministers, heads of government, departments and agencies. We are saying the judiciary. A lot of these, some of these unscrupulous politicians do is that when they are looting the lands, they invite people across the board. Top military brass, come for some. They give them a few. Top judges, come for some. So that even if you go to court, and we've seen that in the lists which we have all intercepted. You see how all these people were invited to take lands for so cheap, below even the floor price. So the judiciary,
then you have the list.
High-ranking security officials.
You have the list. Why are you harassing the
Yeah, I believe there's more.
Yeah, but show us what you have.
Are you sure you want to see it?
Why not?
Last week, didn't you see the list that came from both sides?
Chief.
Look
at what he's asking me. Do I want to see it? I thought that is the whole purpose of this year.
It's because it's not the full list.
We need to see the authentic list from.
It's not the
full list. Samuel Kujeto's question this morning. He's asking me if I want to see it.
Yeah, because
you are seeing that the prospects.
Yeah, I don't want you to collapse where you see it.
But you are asking
what some of your colleagues have been up to. I don't want you to.
And your colleagues.
You are not as young as you were 15 years ago.
What's the point? What's the point?
So
I could collapse. If the minister comes to disclose it, it's the same thing.
There's a story of a politician who, when they went out of office, he said he went to visit one of his colleagues when they were power, and then he got to the person's house. Then he saw the person's house, and he was like, "Hey, I thought we were all
in this together."
You heard a story where a president went to see the house of one of his ministers and give him a slap.
Okay, I heard the first part. I didn't hear the slap part. I heard all what you said, but not the slap.
Yeah, I'm also hearing the slap for the
about.
first time. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So the list also has factored in the high-ranking military officials, high-ranking officials of other security services, state-owned enterprise executives, CEOs, other board members, regulatory and supervisory authorities, the entities that are controlling interests, companies or organizations where these public officials hold significant ownership or control. And we are saying that all these people are totally prohibited. We also have put in place very severe sanctions where you can be fined and jailed up to 5 years if you violate this law that we are proposing. And we have also included both the sellers and the buyers. So if you knew that the person buying is politically exposed and you sold it to the person, you face same sanctions as the person who was not eligible to participate. And we are also saying that the asset will be confiscated. So you will not only face a jail term of 5 years, you will also have to forfeit the state assets back to the people of Ghana. The study we have done, it has emerged that if we remove politically exposed persons, the interest of politically exposed persons, a lot of these sales will stop by more than 80%, because the motivation to really sell these state assets. And you see, it's really sad that our generation, we are only talking about selling. Those who came before us, they acquired state lands, preserved them at land banks. They knew that we will need to carry out further development.
Those
we will need
who
to build
before
parks.
them had sold us.
We will need to build more, hospitals. We will need to have more projects that will inure to the national interest, whether factories, industries, and all of that. But as for our generation, it's always sell. I don't remember the last time I saw any ministry, any minister, any public official say that, we have secured this land bank, we are preserving it, we are fencing it for future development. Even Achimota Forest, are you aware that it's back under attack now as we speak?
Yes, some CSOs are asking for a reversal of the EI that has been issued.
Yes, there's a new EI.
Yes.
And they want to hive off portions. Why?
There's a new EI.
Yes.
Saying what?
That reduces the
giving a part
size.
of the
reduces the size.
EI 144.
Yeah.
When was it issued?
Oh, I think last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a
EI 144.
I have a copy here, you know. So you see, everything is under attack. And it's as if Ghana will not be a continuum, it won't exist again after this current generation of political leaders pass. You know, as if they will die with Ghana.
Right.
You know,
see,
so
Sammy,
that is what we are seeking to achieve.
Okay.
There are those who have said that why don't you even ban the sale of state assets totally? And we say that no, that will be too far that will be too far reaching.
Okay.
Once we are able to achieve this objective of having the public access protection bill become law, it will solve more than 80% of all
the public access protection bill. You are protecting the land and the properties from politicians, but not from private people. So really, there's no protection. So what you're saying is that if you're a politician or politically exposed people, like the three of us sitting here, you cannot take part in it. But private people can take part. So where's the protection?
It says that research shows that when politically exposed persons are not entitled to the ownership of some of these things, it reduces by about 80%. That it is their interest that drives.
the sales. I'm saying that if the sale is still open to private people, there's no protection.
It protects to a large extent because you can't really ban it totally. You know.
You mean private people? They don't want the prime lands. So if it is to protect, but you say you're excluding a class of people, well, but other people can go. Where is the protection? So if you want to protect, then look at provisions that will really restrict.
Yeah, so we are saying that this is restrictive.
From my understanding.
But I mean, I'm sure that this your bill is open to modifications.
Yes,
and additions.
Of course.
Yeah. So any idea which is to make it better,
why not? We welcome it. Yeah.
So if it is to protect, you have to have provisions in there that really protect, not just bar some group of people. How many politicians do we have in the country? How many? 30 million. How many are politicians? Maybe 500.
They are biggest problem.
So let's put in.
Is it that you don't want any sale at all? You don't want state assets sold at all?
No, there should be criteria that will stand the test of time.
Okay. Yeah, that
look,
can be explored.
if you ask me, you see the Asylum Hospital land.
Psychiatric.
Yeah.
Psychiatric hospital.
Yeah. That's about 10 acres.
Yeah.
I'm sure at that time they designated as a hospital for psychiatric. It was like outskirts. You know, the city itself was Christianborg, where the ministries, and then the cantonments, the Royal Engineer, Usuari, and all of that.
And the proximity to Ridge.
Yes, that was the city. So that place was outskirts. Now it's in the middle of the city. You have about 10 acres of prime land sitting in the middle of the city. To my mind, we should be able to build like 400 homes for public servants because it's half a kilometer to the ministries.
Yes.
You have public servants who live at Hacho.
Yeah.
Hacho is close.
And every morning they have to drive and all of that, leading to congestion on the outskirts of the city and in the city. Now, if that prime land, you use half of it, move the hospital to a bit far off, Panta or somewhere there. And in any case, when you have that kind of condition, you need a certain serenity, you know, not come out and then you are facing traffic, you know, and you see it all the time, that these are people with mental issues. Yeah, as soon as they get out, they are working on the main roads and so on. So to my mind, move it to Panta or a place that is
in
more.
20 years, Panta will become like that.
Yes, but now it is not. So it will be a better location than the current location. And then use half the land to do 400 flats for public servants, so that they can even have a bus that will
even
bus
the existing flats the places where we have the existing flats, not the 3-bedroom bungalow on 1 acre, where you have the existing flats, they are being evicted.
But that's what. But I'm coming to that. So
for
I'm saying,
private development.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. That so let's set the criteria in a way that ensures that public policy is being protected. You see, not just say protect, but then protection is to exclude some people. Because then everybody, the rest of the people will have a free hand. So you want to increase the public housing stock. So if you take out one bungalow and they put up 40 flats, you should be able to say 10 of those flats should be reserved for the state. Then you can say that you are using the land where one director, instead of one director at the Ministry of Health, you have 10 or 15 or 20 families.
Even if they are high-ranking officials, and you decide that you would have 6 townhouses on the property, and then you have 2 families of high-ranking persons instead of 1. That makes sense.
In fact, but that's what private people do. The private people who have land in your area and so on, 1 acre, they will say, look, I don't have money. Come and build.
Give me some
4 or 5 townhouses. And give me 2.
Yes, and take 3.
So that's what private people do. So the family is getting housing that it would not have. And the private person is getting to finance the aid. So that's what private people do. So those are the kind of things that you should be looking at, where the policy would meet the interest of the state. So I'm glad that you want the list. It gives us an opportunity to look at how the alienation was done. Was the process transparent? Were the prices paid fair? Has the interest of the public been served? If it hasn't, it allows us to take stock and move forward. So I congratulate you for doing all of this. It's a bare-faced thing, but essentially, if you say you are going to protect public land, and your definition of protection is to exclude politicians, there's no protection because the private people will still come and take it up. You know, you mentioned the my boss, blessed memory, Jacob Echebi Lamte's land. And it shows you the dilemma of the policy, the Accra Redevelopment policy that we have. So that policy itself has to be reviewed. Maybe the intention of the people who put the policy down was good, and maybe the implementation, we've abused it. It will all come out when we have the list and we do a review. But look at the Jacob Echebi Lamte issue, which you took to court. Jake was living there officially as a minister of state. That land was about 2 acres minimum. You know that land. It must be like 2 acres minimum.
It's huge.
It's huge. And there's this story building, 4-bedroom story building sitting in the middle. That one, but there was no boys' quarters. And it's sitting on the Independence Avenue. I mean, you can't get more prime than that. Okay. When Jake was living there, he got notice that the place is going to be sold. Like you're saying, civil servants, public servants, you'll be staying in your house, then you get a letter from Land Commission that you need to quit because the place is going to be sold. So yes,
I have one of those letters here, dated 11 July 2024, to those occupying RR flights, notice of meeting. We present you warm compliments of the Ministry of Works and Housing. The Chief Director respectfully invites all tenants occupying the Roman Ridge flats for an emergency meeting. The meeting is scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday, 15 July 2024. They gave them only a 4-day notice. Venue, Ministry of Works and Housing Conference Room. Time, 2 p.m. Signed by the Chief Director for Minister, Reverend Stephen Yao Osei, to all tenants.
What is the
And then when they went for the meeting, they told them that they have to prepare to move out.
Because
the Accra Redevelopment policy has caught up with them. Their private developers are taking
so this makes my point. You see, so Randy, you see this letter? It's written to the tenants that Accra Redevelopment policy. So we are going to redevelop where you are, so quit. Now, if these tenants then decide that we'll buy it, you see? No, if you are going to sell it, then we'll buy it. We'll also make an offer for it. And that's what happened in the Jacob Echevilantes case. He said, if you're going to sell it, why? I can also buy it. If he didn't buy and he left, it will be sold to somebody else.
Anyway.
So that is the dilemma that we face.
Right.
But anyway, let's get the list. Let's review the implementation, because that's where the devil is, and then see how we can resolve this going forward.
Okay. All right. So SGAGL takes a serious view of utterly false claims and outright lies about its contract with the government for after-sales service and maintenance for 307 ambulances. Underline that. For after-sales service and maintenance for 307 ambulances. Notice is hereby served on those peddling the false allegations, including by the media without attempts to verify same, that a particularly unprofessional and uncritical media shall be held liable for reckless damage to genuine business and reputations. Well, we'll take a break.
This is the Samuel Kujeto.
When we return,
is this your case?
Yes.
We will be looking at the work of the unprofessional and uncritical media, and also the utterly false claims and outright lies about these contracts.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in.
Red out receipt now.
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Watch it spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch it spread, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. It's still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Blast. Boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more. Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Yes.
Star 712.
Which are these? Why we not agree? Yeah, and you were back in Greece. To say why you fit up the millionaire. Yes, the luckiest at the room. To say about from Massa Echeman. Yeah. Now check this. Sister Abna, aka Kobe Hima. The luckiest at the room. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss lady Baku Pay. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, be you smooth. Way enter your friend will upgrade. Luckiest Adaroma. And the best part, that with the luckiest, Obia or a shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number. Star 712 hash. No.
Oswald ticket to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Kwalia.
Hey, neka kwa mauna kukuozea.
Mokomania muduma ne muje ka voters register ne azo. Duzu register. Electoral commission kama ye we bia mo be bad gala. Be ma ya adre ne ha ye na ne ye duma ne ye mujeke 20th August kokura joke 27th August 2024. Ye ba shejuma de ya abo 7 am na ya kwane 6 pm de obi ala.
Anu modike mkwane am je kakra.
Check. Ne mujeke bia ala wo voters register ne azo. Ekwano kwa elkabi amo oseke bekechi be mala bebe hechi ba ma mu elkamo ekadogan na ezan ko ele adren etinde etia ebi amo onsaka otogan la enwosna bia la mo ewul beka yiduma beka bi era do ekata ne azo odikem ko ne duma kakra steko konia no ko ake mu kanene ne melamo e ba via ye konia olua era do 2024 ni 80 ara do ngbayima mo e fa krata ne aga ama ebi ala ania Weke aba wanya enwudu ka wa mlamo be ye yikre eshi wo dweke 20th August kokura dweke 27th August 2024 ye ba shejuma dire ya abo 7 am na ya kwa 6 pm de obiara wo adana for flazo men mo be helala ba kra ba ve phone ba bania beduma helawon edweke wo mlam bebo star 711 star 51 # wo network biara azo men mo be milba krata anaka be hu elkama babado ila no kun ba ho elkama be ye yikre la ba ho bania beduma ne be hu dweke era dren gbe ma mo no kun ba bo abe ma bania be hu dweke wa mlamo be ne era dre krata anmo ala adne to ran la le adne tindetia ewemo osuzike olikekra oliyofle jajun lendene eva ewe krata anake arene ene elkazan konya wa madre lo klibi.
In today's interconnected and interdependent world, nations and international businesses are increasingly appreciating the need to foster greater trade relations.
Get the inside views, vital information, trends and analysis on emerging trade giants in Ghana and beyond. International Trade Focus, the global television trade showcase, transcending barriers in creativity and innovation.
International Trade Focus has been developed to serve as your reliable platform for international business connections and trade events. Join me, Anna Spew, as I bring you a whole menu of international trade activities.
International Trade Focus, your timely business hub. International Trade Focus is brought to you by GOL, ADB, Pediasi Valley Resorts and Public Elegance. International Trade Focus is brought to you by GOL, ADB, Pediasi.
This week on the Gen Z show, we dive deep into Ghana-Niger Connect in recent times.
There's nothing wrong if I'm doing my job and you want to appreciate me. If you walk in here right now, you go like, hey Faisal, I like how you are doing this. Take this. I will take it.
It might be, but there's a very thin line.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes when you're appreciated for something, I feel it kind of puts this obligation on you. You are kind of, it's an emotional, psychological blackmail.
I gave you money and I was expecting that, oh, the next moment when you see this guy, you're going to tell this person, that is corruption. No, you didn't appreciate me. You actually paid me to do something for you without you saying it. And that is not right.
And I think that you should also sit and really analyze. Are we doing Ghana-Niger Connect to show which country is better than the other?
It is crazy.
Right.
The sense of entitlement is crazy.
Right.
First of all, who told you you could get out of your house, dressed, all glammed up and have nothing in your purse?
The Akufo-Addo government, which began in 2017, has chalked remarkable transformation in the educational sector under the ministerial leadership of Dr. Yao Osei Edochum. The implementation of numerous initiatives in the form of infrastructure development, formulation and implementation of policies and programs such as the free SHS, as well as investments in TVET institutions, STEM schools and basic to secondary schools have resulted in massive transformative achievements. These achievements are expected to empower future generations with essential skills needed for personal growth and national development. In the light of these, I bring you documentaries highlighting the transformative achievement in the educational sector, spearheaded by the Minister for Education, Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Edochum. Watch the Transformation Agenda series on education this and every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Transformation Agenda series on education, reimagining education for national development.
The next 30 days are coming with
IG Live Metro TV is coming with the gist. Yes, my name is Helen K, and I'll be coming to you live on Metro TV's Instagram page on the gist. So tell me, where does Ghana place on the list of unfaithful women in Africa? Hey, we've got gist though. Join me this Friday live on Metro TV's Instagram page on the gist.
Meets resilience. One competition dares to stand apart from the rest. Welcome to the Model International, a reality show like no other. This is a show that tests every aspect of a model, including her fears. The Model International is here to unearth a true fashion model in every sense of the word. Models will be judged by renowned and experienced fashion and modeling icons. For 13 weeks, every Saturday at 8 p.m., witness a diverse group of aspiring models from Ghana, Nigeria, and Liberia, each with a unique story to tell and a passion for the world of fashion. They will face daring challenges, push their limits, and ultimately emerge as confident individuals ready to become the Model International. Are you ready to witness the extraordinary? This is the Model International. Be that model.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
The journey continues, but becoming that phenomenal lady doesn't happen in a day.
A it takes courage and refusing to settle for less.
This season on the PL show, it gets much more diverse,
engaging and impactful. This is the PL show.
We paint the perfect picture of pain, sleepless nights, hard work, and of course, the ultimate breathtaking view from the mountaintop. Success.
Successful ladies from all walks of life doing amazing things and positively effective change in their respective fields.
And as you know, we share all these with you, our ardent follower, to help you navigate that journey and also come out strong and phenomenal.
This is the PL show.
It's brought to you by Kale Charcoal, Kale 360, and Kale Kids Toothpaste.
Kale, happy smile.
The Bible is not a textbook like chemistry textbook. It's a spirit. There are no controversies. Righteousness is defined by God. What he says you are is what you are. There's no teaching in the scriptures that will be left untaught.
Join the Good Life Devotion with Dr. David Bindon on this channel to receive biblically authoritative teachers which will usher you into exhibiting the divine life here on earth. The Good Life Devotion shows every Monday to Friday from 11 to 11:30 p.m. Don't miss the special weekend edition on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 p.m. Life is good. Enjoy.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV.
So with me on the show, I have Nana Akumi and Samuel Kujatu Ablakwa. Ayesoko, that could somebody down be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for about 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can, empower your day. It's in shops nationwide. And you can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190-055-001-0000. Right. Okay, so false allegations about after-sales service and maintenance contract for 307 Ambulance Services Ghana Auto Group Limited takes a serious view of utterly false claims and outright lies about its contract with government for after-sales service and maintenance for 307 ambulances. Notice is hereby served on those peddling the false allegations, including by the media, without attempts to verify same, that they particularly the unprofessional and uncritical media shall be held liable for reckless damage to genuine business and reputations. The companies in the transaction have at all material times, including during the competitive procurement processes, conducted themselves with integrity and complying with the due process of law, and under SGAGL share these easily verifiable facts about the transaction. So they speak about the competitive procurement process for the ambulances, and they say that the SGAGL is an SPV of a consortium of 7 companies that participated in a competitive procurement process, not sole sourced, adjudged on merit to procure and to provide after sales and maintenance for 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter ambulances for the National Ambulance Service. The process commenced by the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives via an invitation for tenders dated 15 November 2018. Reference number, they put it here, for 275 units. Varied for 4x2 for 307. A total of 16 companies participated, inclusive of the 7 companies that eventually formed the consortium during the pre-tender workshop round. And they've listed all those 7 companies here. You can see that on your screen. And they say that these companies came together, leveraging their expertise and resources, and they emerged with exceptional value for money proposition in their compelling lowest bid of 133,000 per ambulance, compared to offers by competitors including Silver Star Auto Limited ranging from 250,000 to 300,000, as revealed by the tender evaluation report. It says the consortium's Turkey-based suppliers, by a letter dated 22nd February 2019, obtained manufacturer's authorization from Mercedes-Benz, an essential prerequisite. And they also say that the authorization for medical equipment to be installed in the ambulance was duly obtained from EMSA Ambulances by a letter dated 23rd February 2019, another critical tender requirement. And it says the authorization provides a warranty guarantee for the medical equipment. In full compliance with tender specifications, a comprehensive on-site inspection of the supplier's facilities was undertaken with technical officers of the National Ambulance Service, Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Health, and 2 other relevant sector ministries in Turkey. The individual companies in the consortium had specific allocations and duly supplied the ambulances, paying no applicable duties. After sales service and maintenance agreement was entered into in December 2019, it specified extensive after-sales support, routine servicing, maintenance, repairs, and provision of requisite mechanical and medical spare parts for the ambulances. And they say the consortium companies incorporated the SPV, that is Service Ghana Auto Group Limited, on 24th April 2020 with primary objects for sale of automotive and vehicle parts to fulfill the contract stipulations. He said, herein lies the utterly false claim that SGAGL was awarded a contract prior to its incorporation, when the verifiable fact is rather that the initial contract of December 2019 was to the constituent companies of the consortium. The incorporation of the SPV would naturally result in an agreement reflecting the new development with SGAGL forming a strategic partnership with Intercity STC coaches to accept its workshop facilities for a countrywide coverage. SGAGL deployed 3 fully equipped Mercedes emergency mobile workshop vans for prompt and efficient response. They undertook comprehensive renovation of Ministry of Agriculture's workshop in Kumasi and repurposed it as a specialized workshop for the maintenance, servicing, and repair. They also constructed purpose-built workshop at the National Ambulance Service Headquarters in Accra, further expanding its support infrastructure for the ambulance maintenance program. Other projects in Ho and Takoradi have stalled due to land litigation. The contract specifies a budget for spare parts for a period of 5 years, contingent upon approvals of both the Bank of Ghana and PPA. SGAGL has a dedicated warehouse facility in Tema for secure storage and management of imported parts for use by the National Ambulance Service. Says the 34.9 million, of which letters of credit were established for $10 million, is falsely assigned to cover only mechanical parts, and the figure again deceitfully allotted at about 113,000 worth of spare parts per an ambulance. In fact, over 45,000 mechanical and medical spare parts, essential items, have been supplied to the National Ambulance Service since the ambulances were delivered. Payment for some consignments have been in arrears, and a recent shipment financed with loans by SGAGL is on its way to Ghana. In respect of the 2022 performance audit, SGAGL had significant disagreements with the Auditor General's report, which it did not have the chance to contribute any responses by way. Please, didn't somebody proofread this statement before you brought it out? Any responses by way of the management letter. Nonetheless, SGAGL has since refunded amounts wrongly labeled as double payment to salary staff of NAS, when these were in the nature of ADHA for hard-working personnel. SGAGL deploys its teams in a fashion consistent with a plan to train and transfer knowledge to staff of NAS 7 fleets separate from the 307. It needs emphasizing that the Ministry of Finance established a 10 million LC, not direct payment as falsely alleged, and that bank loans have had to be procured to finance key obligations under a contract. Except that Stephen Okoro is a director of one of the 7 companies, a fact available to public at the Register of Companies. The consortium, its constituent companies, or as the SGAGL, do not have their associations falsely alleged. Neither have they engaged in any wrongdoing. The consortium and the SGAGL have and will continue to act above board in their dealings, and is signed by the MD SGAGL. So that is the statement from SGAGL about this contract. Honorable, I'm sure that you have seen this, and you are the person who has been leading this crusade on this matter. We know that yesterday, the Minister of Health also appeared before your Government Assurance Committee. They had Dr. Koboy too yesterday.
Hey.
Yes, the committee is busy.
Chairman.
Yes.
Yeah, we are working
and
hard.
This issue came up as well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So let's watch that part of your proceedings, and then we will get your response to this issue.
To hear you respond to directly. Why is your ministry spending $34.9 million on ambulance spare parts? Why? To a company called Service Ghana Auto Group Limited. Why are you doing such a thing? The analysis I have done, the cost of the spare parts is actually more than the market value of the ambulance. We'll be spending about $113,000 per ambulance. If you break down this figure of $34.9 million, why is the Honorable Okoboy pursuing such a sweetheart deal?
Honorable Chair, all I'll say is that the release from the ministry showed that, yes, the request came from the Ministry to Finance, and historically, when the ambulances came in, they were under the Ministry for Special Development Initiatives. So in the past, when that ministry used to get allocation from the budget as a ministry, apparently they use some of their resources to keep these ambulances on the road. At a point in time, I think as a result of realignment or whatever reasons, that ministry had to be absorbed or had to die a natural death. And the chief of staff, who is more or less the mother for all ministers, wrote to health, more or less encouraging health to activate or get closer to finance to see how that duty that the special development was playing would be continued and not truncated. Honorable Chair, with all due respect, because of some of the issues that have come out in the public and the request by some statutory investigative bodies to look at some of these things, I think the wisest thing for me to do is not to try and either go into the merits of the request, the basis for the request, the processes the request went through and all that. I think it is wise that based on the specific questions that are put to the ministry by some of these agencies, then we know that whatever you say is like talking an oath. Whatever you submit can be used in the future to either help you with your case or to undo your case. But all I can say is that as was concluded, or I mentioned in the last, the ministry mentioned in the last paragraph, we are a state interest, or we are a public ministry. Our job is to work with the citizenry or the states to make sure that citizens get value from the ministry, and then also the ministry is accountable. If we were a private organization, we will hold on to hardcore information. But Honorable Chair, like they say in the US and in Ghana sometimes, once the policeman arrests you, he tells you that this your thing can end up in court. So it is your own interest to either shut up or know that whatever you say will come at you. So basically that is what I have to say. I thank you.
This $34.9 million, is it contained in your budget? According to Honorable Ken Freya's tax letter of 9 February 2024, your ministry wrote to his ministry on 6 December 2023, making this request. Did Parliament approve any $34.9 million for ambulance spare parts?
Honorable Chair, for me, I think the Honorable Chief of Staff's letter even gives you an idea where he said that these are the SDI don't have a budget, and that we should explore for ways to support with keeping of maintaining these ambulances. If you look at the release, I actually mentioned the release that an approach was made to health insurance, and health insurance said it was difficult because they don't have a line, So, like I said, any activity which has been captured by the ministry and there is documentation will be made available. But I don't want to go into what I suspect or what I assume. But Honorable Chair,
Honorable Minister, you are aware of the consequences as an Honorable Minister, and a former member of this House, of engaging in expenditure not approved by Parliament. You know the consequences. The Constitution is very clear.
Honorable Chair, as I mentioned, the release gave a background as to what necessitated this request. It is my strong guess, it's not a guess, it's almost so, that it was the communication from the presidency that, look, these facilities or ambulances used to enjoy some support from Ministry for Special Development Initiatives. The ministry no more exists. So since you are a health ministry and these are ambulances, see how you can make sure that you provide support for them. As to whether that support which the ministry attempted or started the journey to get money for this, as to whether that support is captured in the budget for the year or not all that. Like I said, I would like for us to do the trial or the whole investigation or inquiry here. My attitude is that whatever request comes, I always work with foundation documents. Once I see foundation documents that would give me information, I'll make it available.
So, Honorable Minister, your agency, the National Health Insurance Authority, they gathered the courage to tell you that it's not in their formula, and I have their formula here, it's not there. Why couldn't you do the same thing by telling the presidency that this is their request, it's not in the budget? Just as your NHIA people did.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that? You appeared afraid of the chief of staff, so you are following unlawful orders. Is that what you are doing at the ministry?
Honorable Chair, so actually the request to find money started, how do you call it? If you check the date that was written, I think that time when the letter was written requesting this amount, I was even at health insurance. I had not moved to this place. So this elucidation that a line was not in the formula came from my end, and I think my successor also maintained such a position. For an appointee of government, myself, to give that elucidation should respectfully tell the committee that it was more or less an exploration to see how to support the ambulance service to be on the road. And so where it was not possible, where the process captured that it was difficult here, with all due respect, those who have been ministers before, if you are at a ministry and your internally generated funds, assuming this request was an amount of, let's say, 50,000, as a minister, my threshold, it's, I think, my finance tells me 200,000 Ghana cedis also. If this request was 50,000 Ghana cedis, and our IGF, internally generated funds, could sustain this request, and it was even outside the budget, but it was as part of a contingency or emergency expenditure to keep the health system in check. As the minister, if I funded it and then the financial laws allow for.
Auditor General's report. I will, on behalf of colleagues, admonish. A while ago, you confirmed that.
Yes. All right, so that's part of what transpired at the Assurances Committee sitting yesterday. So, Sammy, the SG, what's the name again?
AGL.
SGAGL. They say that you're peddling false allegations, and we are also your collaborators. We have attempts to verify same. So the unprofessional and uncritical media, and there's a warning here that we shall be held liable for reckless damage to genuine businesses and reputations. Most importantly, they say that the companies and transactions have at all material times, including during the competitive procurement process, conducted themselves with integrity and complying with due process of the law.
Doc, let me begin by strongly condemning this statement. Service Ghana Auto Group Limited, those who run this company, should be told in very clear terms that they cannot intimidate anybody in this country. They are not allowed to use such words on the Ghanaian media, on members of parliament carrying out their constitutional mandate, and on the Ghanaian people. Look, we are talking about cumulatively $108 million. If you add the $54 million on the procurement of the ambulances, the 150 million cedis that was paid to them between 2020 and 2023, and then the $34.9 million for ambulance spare parts, you put all of that together, it's $108 million. I invite them to come and read the annual public debt report that is submitted to Parliament. And you see this country, president, vice president, ministers, going a begging, sometimes for $50 million, $20 million, $10 million. You have come into the public space using our taxes. And as citizens, we are raising fundamental issues bordering on accountability, probity, transparency, breaches of the Procurement Act. We are reading the Auditor General's report, damning Auditor General's report. You just played the video, the Minister for Health telling the Assurances Committee in Parliament that they don't have a budget line for this. The $34.9 million is not in the budget. What does the Constitution of Ghana say? Can public officials just dip their hands in the public purse?
Well, they said don't blame them. They said they are private businesses. They have gone through due process.
How dare you
They have the requisite qualifications.
I'll come to that.
Due process.
I'll come to
contract.
All of that is balderdash. Total hogwash. How dare you issue threats that you take a serious view, notice is hereby served. They think they can intimidate us. Intimidate duly elected members of parliament, carrying out. They think that what? We were voted to go to parliament to go and sleep, to go and just drink tea, cross our legs, and watch as people dupe the republic. Is that what they think our mandate is? Look, they should not annoy us at all. I am totally outraged at this statement. They attempt to call people unprofessional, uncritical media. I mean, how dare you? Our taxpayers' money.
They said the media has not spoken to them to get their side.
And so what?
That's what they are saying.
And so what? And then you use these words and you are issuing threats.
Which one?
Issuing threats. Notice is hereby served on those peddling false allegations, including by the media with their attempts to verify same, particularly the unprofessional, the uncritical media. I mean, look at them.
They said they shall be held liable. Well, that means they could be sued.
Look at this company.
If somebody is caught,
they've succeeded in intimidating me, so that's fine.
Oh, you?
Yeah,
I would not be intimidated.
I feel so.
That you'll be taken to court.
No, I feel so.
That you can be taken to court.
Nana, I don't. These are serious. I don't want any interjection.
Then go straight to
$108 million of our taxpayer funds is what is at stake.
Okay.
It can construct my road, the bad road from Accra to Aveime, the traffic, the congestion that we go through, all those road projects which have been.
I'm sure you're not suggesting
which
that
have been stalled.
I'm sure you're not suggesting that acquisition of 300 ambulances and the subsequent maintenance is
a bad
investment.
I'm condemning the dubious inflation, and I'm coming to that. The sheer inflationary pricing, unconscionable. I'm coming to that. Look, what is false about this expose? I intercepted these letters signed by the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, dated 9 February 2024. What is false about this? Where Ken Ofori-Atta approves a $34.9 million contract and subsequently writes to the Minister for Health that his ministry will take care of $10 million. Quote, this ministry is only able to fund up to the tune of $10 million out of the amount requested and recommend that the Ministry of Health finances the difference through the NHI. This is Ken Ofori-Atta writing. When he knows that there is no parliamentary approval, NHI doesn't have it in their formula. I have all the NHI formulas here. The Honorable Minister has confirmed that.
But this is upon a request by the Ministry of Health, right?
Yes,
okay.
By the Ministry of Health. Then that same 9 February, the second letter I intercepted is here. The Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta writes to the Controller Accountant General, instructing them to release $10 million, equivalent to 120,711,000 Ghana cedis, at an exchange rate of $1 to 12.0711 Ghana cedis. It's here, signed by Ken Ofori-Atta.
I understand that money has not been
I followed through.
Has it been released?
I followed through.
Yeah, they went through Accountant General, went to Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
Bank of Ghana has done the LCs. However, a source at the Bank of Ghana told the Ghanaian Times that nobody has called nor come to claim the LC yet.
So I have here, I'll give you a copy. This is the invoice register from GIFMIS, which has payment vouchers from the GIFMIS system, the Ghana Integrated Information Management System. And based on the instruction that Ken Ofori-Atta issued on 9 February, the Controller Accountant General, from GIFMIS, it says that transaction number MOHHQGS00124/RW, payment to Service Ghana Auto Group Limited. Description, being release of funds for the establishment of letters of credit to procure spare parts for 307 ambulance vehicles. Date 23rd February 2024.
Same day.
23rd February. No,
Okay.
this was
2
9
weeks
February,
after.
2 weeks after. So from the GIFMIS records, funds have been released. Release of funds to the BOG, actually to Service Auto Group Limited. That is what the GIFMIS records reflect.
But so has the money been paid?
That is what we see from the GIFMIS. And you see, this government, remember when we started probing the Sputnik V thing, this same Ministry of Health and the Finance Ministry told us, oh, no money has been, we haven't lost any money. There has been no payment. He came up yesterday. And Dr. Okoboy admitted that, yes, that's what we were told, that they hadn't released the funds, only for the parliamentary probe to establish that actually the monies had gone to the sheikhs, those shonky sheikhs who imposted.
How much?
$2.4 million.
Okay.
As we speak, we haven't retrieved that money. They are up to that same game again, telling us, oh, it's not being paid. And you see, this thing,
2.4 million.
That was for the Sputnik.
The
Ajimamenu.
No, the minority leaders trial. How much is involved?
That's 2.3. Good point.
Right.
2.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, the real prosecutions will start soon. And then you see this, when you talked about sources at Bank of Ghana, then it occurred to me.
According to the Ghanaian Times.
Yes, according to the Ghanaian Times. To make this observation. Have you noticed that since this scandal broke, nobody is putting a name to any statement?
True.
The Ministry of Health statement, they just said PR unit. No name, nobody signed. Then this statement, this annoying statement, this bogus statement from Service Ghana Auto Group Limited. We only see a signature. No name. Then Ghanaian Times reports that a source at Bank of Ghana says, oh, we haven't released the funds yet. We haven't paid the company.
We've done the LC, but nobody has called.
Yes.
Who come to pick it up?
Who is that source? Why is nobody boldly speaking to this?
No, we have sources. I sometimes put information on the basis of sources I have that are not disclosed.
Look at the quantums we are talking about.
Yeah. So your point is that why are people not bold?
Everybody is hiding from this. Nobody is bold to put their name to this. What are they afraid of? The imminent prosecution? Now let me come to the facts in this matter. They claim that they are a consortium that was put together for the procurement. I remember that all along that was hidden from us. It was my second expose which revealed that, oh, apparently there's the same guys, the same actors who had registered different companies and used to procure the ambulances. The first expose was on the spare parts, $34.9 million. Then in my second expose, I revealed that, oh, after further tracking and parliamentary oversight, I discovered that the same directors have registered other companies, all of them between April and September 2017. No track record in the importation of ambulances, servicing of ambulances. Some of the companies are even building construction companies, hurriedly put together. Now, after that expose, they are telling us that, you know, they formed a consortium and participated, a consortium called Service Ghana Auto Group Limited, and then participated in this bid, which began 15 November 2018. Take note of the date.
Yes.
So this consortium participates in a bid of 15 November 2018.
Yes.
I have the incorporation documents of the consortium here by the Registrar General, certified true copy, stamped. Service Ghana Auto Group Limited was incorporated 24th April 2020. And yet, in 2018, 2 years prior, 18th November 2018, they are participating, this consortium is participating in bids. Can you believe that? When they were not a registered entity. And this is a matter the Auditor General has raised. I have a copy of the Auditor General's report here. Read paragraph 75, page 33 of the Auditor General's report. In addition, records from the Registrar General's Department revealed that SGAGL was registered on 24 April 2020. Therefore, from January to April 2020, when National Ambulance Service referred maintenance works to SGAGL, it was not a registered company with the Registrar General's Department.
Now, does this answer the observation that you raised? In point 3, when they speak about the competitive process, the 15th November, point 3 says a total of 16 companies participated, inclusive of the 7 companies that eventually formed the consortium during the pre-tender workshop round. And then they list those 7 companies. But then they go on and say these companies came together, leveraging their expertise and resources and emerging with exceptional value for money proposition in their compelling lowest bid. Okay, so therefore, the IV creates the impression that they created a consortium which led them to win.
Yes.
So I get the point you're making now. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when you look at the 3,
exactly,
it creates the impression that there were 7 individual companies.
And even read I. SJEGL is an SPV of a consortium of 7 companies that participated in a competitive procurement process.
Yes.
I is very clear.
Yeah.
So 2 years before
it was not just proofreading that they should have made on the statement, but
what do they take us for?
Maybe an application.
What do they take us for? No common sense, no regard to our law, and then they are rather issuing threats. Now, let's come to the amount. They claim in IV
That why do you say there was no comments?
They presented the bid. Let's leave it to the viewers. Let's leave it. We don't have time, so we'll leave it to the viewers.
Because they're playing with our brains.
Where?
So, Doc, if you read Ivy, Doc, please.
You see the
please, don't you see that? It's to derail my thought process. I'm not falling for it.
Who's going to derail thought process?
If you read Ivy,
are you lying to get away?
And I've told you that checklist.
Nana, you can write your point and then make
sense. We're down to follow you. That's all.
The viewers are following. The viewers.
But why do you accuse me?
Nana wants to help.
I don't need help. I don't need help. Please, I'm grateful.
But I want to follow.
Thank you for the help. Thank you.
I just want to follow.
It's fine.
Thank you very much.
But you shouldn't be accusing me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I retract. Yeah. So Ivy. This Service Ghana Auto Group Limited is telling us that they presented the lowest bid, and their bid was for 133,000 per ambulance.
Yes.
I mean, what do these people take us for?
Why? What's your problem with that?
Unfortunately for them,
I
have once again intercepted all the payment vouchers. From the Give Me system. What they were paid. What they were paid has absolutely nothing to do with this 133,000 per ambulance.
Why?
What some of them were paid. Indeed, if you look at ELOC Consult and Services Limited, they were paid 32,203,322 Ghana cedis, 14 pesos.
So they were paid separately?
Yes, they were paid separately. The 7 companies. They were paid separately. They split it.
So you see, interestingly,
they split it.
No payment was made to a consortium.
Yes.
No payment was made to a consortium.
Exactly. Very interesting observation.
That is the SA something.
Yes, no payment was made. Because at the time the payments were made, the consortium had not been formed.
It didn't exist.
Yes,
it hadn't been formed. And yet they say they went to
The payments were made in December 2019.
Exactly.
Between the 24th and 27th of December.
Yes.
So it was the individual companies that were paid.
Exactly.
Because the consortium didn't exist then.
Fantastic point. Now, this 32.2 million cedis for the supply of 40 ambulances. If you look at the Bank of Ghana exchange rate at that time, December 2019, it was 5.5. What you get is 145,353 United States dollars and 34 cents for ELOC Consult and Services.
That supplied how many?
That supplied 40.
So the 40 is also there?
Yes, it's here. Supply of 40 ambulances.
This is for supply, not maintenance.
No, this is we are now dealing with the procurement aspect. Being payment for 40 number 4x4 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 316 CDI ambulance vehicles.
So this is full and final payment?
Yes.
Okay.
Full and final payment.
For the supply?
Yes. So for the 40, this ELOC, an ELOC Consult, is the company that the same Stephen Okoro, who is a business partner of Jankroma Akufo-Addo, Edwina Akufo-Addo. And we all now know that it's also a father, the one who gave Akufo-Addo his first grandchild or granddaughter. So when we are talking about politically exposed persons, we know what we are talking about.
Okay.
It's a fact. Nobody can deny that.
Right.
So the ELOC, the directors are Stephen Okoro and his brother Solomon Okoro Okereke. They are the directors. They were paid $145,353
per ambulance.
Can you believe that? Hugely inflated. When the Auditor General has discovered at page 24, paragraph 46 of this Auditor General's report, that a unit price of this ambulance is $80,000.
Let me see.
That is what the Auditor General has discovered. It's here, page 24, paragraph 46.
Is this CIF or?
Yes, the same model, same specs. Page 24. You go to page 24.
Is it factory 46. Price or landed?
Market value, $80,000. Then let's come to Beft Engineer. And what is interesting is that same ambulance, same specs, different payments. Beft Engineering, they were paid 26.6 million for also supplying 40.
40?
Yes. And when you do the Bank of Ghana exchange rate, the prevailing exchange rate as of December 2019, they were paid $120,476. So ELOC was paid $145,000. They were paid $120,000. Then you come to Blue Mix Company Limited.
They were paid 15.9 million for supplying 35 ambulances. They supplied 35 and they were paid 15.9 million. If you do the exchange rate analysis, it amounts to $82,000, $82,066. So same ambulance, same specs. Some are supplying for $145,000. I think it's based on, somebody said that even though they were all invited to the same party, some had a VIP stand, some were more special.
But what they're saying here is that these companies came together.
Yes.
Leveraging their expertise and resources. And I underlined that, expertise and resources.
Yeah, expertise.
And emerging with exceptional value for money proposition, the compelling lowest bid of $133,000 per ambulance.
Per ambulance. Which is
so what they are saying is that 7 of them participated among 16 companies.
Yes.
And then the 7, they formed a consortium and presented a bid of $133,000.
Yes, per
Is
ambulance.
that proof of that?
No, there's no proof of that. No proof of that. The payment exposes this as a blatant fabrication. Pure falsehood. These are the payments.
Could it be part payment?
No, full payment. Well, how can $145,000 be part payment?
No, the one that is lower. Because you see, I'm trying to make sense
it's
out
full
of
payment.
The different.
No, that is yes.
Yes.
That should
because their statement says that they together presented a bid for 133.
Falsehood. Falsehood. And I'll point more falsehood in this statement. They have no respect for the Ghanaian people. Falsehoods. So this is Blue Mix. DS, I'm done with Blue Mix. Prestige Era Company Limited. DS is also 145,353.92. Then let's continue. More payment vouchers. Luxury World Auto Group Limited. DS is also $145,000, $347.49. RDC Company Limited. DS is $77,000.
How?
Yes.
How?
This is the actual. That is what the Auditor General discovers. That this ambulance average 80,000.
That's what I'm asking.
Fair market
these
value.
were not part payment.
It's not part payment. It's here being payment for 40 number 4x4 Mercedes-Benz. If it's partial payment, it will have been stated.
Is it a 4x4?
4x4 number 4x4 Mercedes-Benz printer 316 CDI. Same specs. Same specs.
Look at point II of their statement. If the payment voucher says 4x4, look at point II. There's something interesting. The last line.
Yeah, okay, yeah, vary to 4x2.
Yes.
Yeah, 4x2. Yeah.
So they are saying the specs was changed.
The specs was changed.
Downgraded.
It was downgraded.
So but
the payment was not downgraded.
Okay.
Payment was not downgraded. It's here. Payment was for 4x4. And this amounted to $77,000 and 46 cents. So what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Let's continue. More falsehoods. They are also claiming, if you come to page 2, under the $34.9 million spare parts scandal, they say that the after-sales service and maintenance agreement was entered into in December 2019. Is that not what you see? Is that not what you see,
yes,
Doc?
Yes.
December 2019. Meanwhile, let me bring you to the Ministry of Health's statement of 25th July 2024. The first paragraph of the statement. It says, on September 10, 2020, the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives signed a contract with Service Auto Group Limited for the provision of after-sales service and maintenance for 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 315 CDI ambulances. Who do we believe? Ministry of Health says they signed September 10, 2020. Service Ghana Auto Group says that it's December 2019. When was it signed? Who do we believe? And I can understand what the ministry tried to do. You know, the ministry is conscious that this company was incorporated April 24, 2020. So they don't want to fall in the trap which the Auditor General discovers, that they signed the contract before the company was incorporated. So they say September 10, 2020. That is when we entered into the agreement. But this company, in a hurry to harass people, intimidate people, they don't even know what they are talking about.
Yeah, they said after sales service and maintenance agreement was entered into in December 2019.
In December 2019. Meanwhile, Ministry of Health has told Ghanaians that 10 September 2020
Who do we believe?
So they are saying that.
Then let me come to.
They are saying that
Yeah.
they won the procurement of the vehicles.
Yeah.
And they also won the after-sales service. They got an agreement in December 2019.
Yes.
Then in April, they call themselves consortium companies.
Yeah.
They then incorporated an SPV.
An SPV, yeah.
What is consortium company?
Yes, a group of companies. It's
Yes,
the same
I mean-
SGAGL. So all this while, since 2018, it's not been incorporated. It's not a legal entity.
Let me ask you a question.
And if you read the Auditor General's report, the Auditor General indicts them that you don't do that. It indicted the National Ambulance Service and the Ministry of Health for entering into this arrangement when the entity was not registered. Paragraph 74 of this Auditor General's report.
Randy, the question is...
Then it continues.
Just a question.
Yes.
Okay, so Sami is making claims. The company SP something
Yes.
is also making counter claims.
Yes.
How do we resolve it? Are we going to leave it at the stage?
No, we will not. That's why I've gone to the OSP. I've gone to the OSP.
Okay.
And let me confirm on your show this morning that 3 days ago, on Tuesday, the OSP sent a crack team of investigators to interview me.
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed with their professionalism for more than 2 hours. And they formally informed me that they have opened investigations into this matter. You know, initially, the letter we got was that they were considering if it falls within their purview.
Their mandate.
Their mandate. Now, they have confirmed that it falls within their mandate and that they have opened investigations, and they have interviewed me for more than 2 hours, and I've submitted additional documents. Now, if you look at the cost of these ambulances, we have paid $54 million. That's what the Auditor General discovers when you read page 2 of this Auditor General's report. And that is what they are trying to do by dividing 54 million by the 307 to get 133,000. But the Auditor General has discovered from page 24 of this audit report that the actual value is $80,000.
Where is that value?
You didn't find it. I gave you the page. Page 24.
I couldn't find it on that page.
Page 24.
You give it to me. So
It says the premium per Mercedes-Benz Sprinter ambulance was $8,000 based on 10% on cost of $80,000 per Mercedes-Benz Sprinter bus. It's here. Sprinter ambulance, pardon me. It's here.
And the cost now is what? 113.
When you come to
133.
133, that's what they are saying.
So that's
even though it's not accurate, they were paid. Some of them were paid more than that. Then you come to page 2 of this Auditor General's report, and you see here from page 2 of the Auditor General's report that we quote, in 2020, government procured and distributed 307 Mercedes-Benz ambulances at a cost of $54.3 million. When you do the analysis, the actual cost, this $80,000, we should not have paid beyond $24.5 million. So this was inflated by about $30 million on the ambulance procurement alone.
Well, they are saying that.
Then you come to.
They paid.
Let's come to the servicing arrangement. You see that even though they try to attack the Auditor General and say that, question their professionalism, that they didn't hear their side and all of that, they proceed then to confirm everything. First of all, they have admitted by the payment to government, the refunds to government, that they engage in over-invoicing. It's clear. Because the Auditor General indicted them that this is a company that engages in over-invoicing, which, as we all know, is fraudulent. It's a crime. They have paid back, complying with the Auditor General. The Auditor General also discovered, when you go through this Auditor General's report, that they don't have garages. They are using garages belonging to the state. Now they are claiming that they did renovations. Yes. But read VI under the contractual projected budget for spare parts at page 2. They say that other projects in Ho and Takrady have stalled due to land litigation, virtually confirming what the Auditor General says. They are now giving excuses that because of land litigation. And yet we are paying them between 2020 and 2023 for this.
I'm told that
this servicing. We paid them 150 million.
$2.1 million in the agreement, which was supposed to be used for the setting up of workshops.
Yes.
So whether
that has not been done.
Where's the agreement?
So we have asked for it at Assurances Committee. The minister has up to next week, by close of next week, to submit the full contract. Because here we are, they can't even tell us when it was signed. Ministry of Health says September 2020. They are also saying December 2019.
Is there a parliamentary inquiry in addition to OSP?
Well, that's what the Assurances Committee, is pursuing, in this matter. But there's no separate probe by an ad hoc committee on this matter. So look, the more you go into this, and then they
wrap up for me.
They now want us to believe that this $34.9 million for spare parts, they say, oh, they didn't factor in medical equipment and all. The entire ambulance with medical equipment, fully equipped, Auditor General says it's $80,000. Let's even go with their dubious $133,000, which payment vouchers have exposed them. How should we be paying $113,000
for spare parts?
For spare parts. And you say,
and
we
medical,
are yes,
medical parts.
And you say, as if the $80,000 market value, it doesn't include medical parts. When we say an ambulance, it's a vehicle with medical equipment. So how can the spare parts be more than the value of the ambulance? I mean, what do these people take us for?
All right, okay.
So
we'll
look,
find out.
This statement, they shouldn't have issued it.
All right. Well, at least they've succeeded in intimidating.
They have worsened. That's the only thing they want to achieve.
So I'm saying they have achieved that.
Oh, I know you. I know you. You can never be intimidated
by
this hogwash.
Nana?
No, I mean, what I said earlier, that these are claims. They are counter claims. SGAGL denies claims of inflated costs in ambulance deal now. We must get to know the truth. So I'm happy that the OSP is seized with the matter. And let's encourage the OSP to go into it. These are matters of public interest. These are matters where it affects the reputation of people and so on. So as for the claims and counterclaims, people are entitled to make them. All of it is in pursuit of accountability and, prudent use of
Is it true that the
public
Auditor General didn't speak to them for their side?
Well,
that's one of the things.
That's what they are claiming. But I'll be surprised because management.
That's management of National Ambulance.
The National Ambulance Service.
At the meeting with the OSP, everybody will call,
everything.
Right.
And then we'll get to know. I'm happy that the OSP is seized of the matter.
Okay.
And,
so there are many, if you read the Herald and others, there are many who raise issues about even the backgrounds of some of the...
Oh, yes, some of the directors.
The directors and others.
It's been confirmed that some are
ex-convicts.
and all of that.
Who is that ex-convict?
The Opon Checheku guy.
So let's leave that. I'm sure that subsequently we'll find out.
Look, this thing
we'll find out what the issues are. But Sami, a friend of ours, he watches the show Religious from the States. He thinks that your annexation of the position of Assurances Committee Chair changes the dynamics of your
on this matter,
your public your expose on these issues. And it says some interesting things. It says it's inappropriate for a chairman of a parliamentary group to try people on social media and then perform statutory duties on the same topics in meetings. The reasons are as follows. 1, conflict of interest. By trying people on social media, the chairman may have already formed opinions or biases, which could influence their decision-making in meetings. 2, lack of due process. Social media trials bypass formal procedures and rules of evidence, potentially leading to unfair outcomes. 3, appearance of impropriety. It may seem like the chairman is using his position to exert influence or pressure outside of official channels. 4, undermining authority. By taking matters into his own hands on social media, the chairman may undermine the authority of a parliamentary group and its formal processes. 5, blurred lines. Mixing public trials on social media with formal duties can blur the lines between personal opinions and official responsibilities. It says Chairman Kujeto should maintain impartiality, follow formal procedures, and avoid using his position to exert undue influence. If he has concerns or issues related to his duties, he should address them through proper channels and procedures. So he thinks that your position as chair of government
I totally disagree. First of all, nobody does trials on social media or in the media. Nobody does that. As public servants, we are enjoined under the Constitution to be transparent and to be accountable to the people. That's why MPs hold clinics, hold town hall meetings. We must tell them what we are doing, what we are discovering, what we are finding out. And under our standing orders, standing orders order 225 of the Committee on Assurances, nowhere does it say that you cannot be transparent, put out your discoveries, your views on matters.
What you need to do
and the same vein, work at the committee. Nothing stops you.
Listen to it with an open mind.
I'll forward it to you.
This is because I asked you the question earlier when you mentioned that at your committee you had invited some documents on the same matter.
Yes.
And meanwhile, this same matter is at OSP. But anyway, so you look at it.
Okay. All right. So tomorrow, a great man turns 69. Tommy Anamforsin, my boss. Yes. He'll be 69 tomorrow. Wow. 69. I'm sure he's going to make a joke out of 69. 69. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Happy birthday.
So Tommy will be 69 tomorrow. Happy birthday in advance to you, Tommy Anamforsin. And also an ardent viewer of this show, Mrs. Monica Sari. I'm told that you watch this show religiously. So a good day and a great weekend to you from Nana Komia and all of us.
Eugene Entry, your friend.
Boache Entry.
Yeah. He
MP
says,
for Subin.
For Subin.
Yes.
Yeah. He says, a Blackwa, do you know that a former minister, he mentions the name, lives in Laboni on an acre of land, sold to him at 300,000. He has only paid 150,000 since 2012.
So finger the person out. Yeah, because as we're speaking, people have sent me
so many.
Yes.
So I'm saying let the list come.
Then
we all go through.
Exactly. All right. We won't shield anybody.
All right. So the Assemblies of God Church
and this has must stop.
The Assemblies of God Church has a landmark program, and we have the feed from that program, the Assemblies of God Church, and yes, and we will be. I don't know, and we will be. So that's what you see there. That's a live feed from the Assemblies of God a program. So we're taking you there live to follow the program. I don't know.
We are not just ordinary professionals. We are first and foremost God's chosen ambassadors. We have been uniquely called and sanctified and